I was born with hearing loss, and but it wasn't identified at the time because, you know, we didn't have the universal newborn hearing screening back in the 80s. And so we didn't really know that I had a problem until I was about 2. And I was demonstrating some balance issues. And then also my mom noticed that I wasn't quite talking right or pronouncing sounds right. And when she would hand me a phone, I would put it to my left ear and then I'd switch it over to my right side. And so she brought it up to the pediatrician, and the pediatrician did kind of like a little, you know, sound test in the office, and I turned my head and looked, and so she's like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. My mom couldn't really get anybody to take her seriously until I was about 4 or 5, and I was like in preschool, about to start kindergarten, and the preschool had a hearing and vision screening, and so my mom signed me up for that, and there was an audiologist who came and who tested me, and I failed. And they did a bunch of tests, and they did an MRI and imaging studies, and they couldn't tell my family why I had hearing loss at that time. But they did say I had a moderate to moderately severe loss in my left ear. And they didn't recommend a hearing aid. I got accepted to Auburn University on a theater scholarship. I was a musical theater and opera major, and
wow.
But I was a little nervous about being in a classroom with 300 students and being able to hear well. And so they had the Office for Students with Disabilities, and I think it's now called the Office of Accessibility. But so I went to that department, and I told them, hey, I have a hearing loss, and I think I'm gonna need some accommodations. And they were like, oh, okay, great. Well, we need a hearing test that's actually been performed in the past decade. So I finally went back and I got tested again, and they were just like, oh my gosh, you've been going all this time without a hearing aid? And I was like, yeah. And they said, okay, well, do you want one? And I was like, well, do I need one? And they said, probably not. And so I, once again, kind of slipped through the cracks, and I was like, okay, this is just how it is. I guess nobody thinks that a hearing aid will help me. Was going through undergrad and really liked the idea of music therapy. I wanted to be a music therapist. Then I could use kind of my theater and music background. And I started taking speech therapy classes, and they required that you take Audiology 101. And so I took that class, and I loved it. And I learned so much about my own hearing loss in that class. And the professor was kind of like, to the dark side, change your major, study audiology. And so I did. And so I, pulled all my grad school applications and then submitted for that. And I got accepted to Auburn's Doctor of Audiology program. And my classmates there were the first ones to test me and let me try a hearing aid.
Oh my God.
And so I was kind of their practice test patient. Wow. It just completely changed my life. And, I had really never known what I was missing. And the sound quality for me was like it was like I had been underwater. Everything was really muffled and distorted, and music sounded totally flat and different, and of course I just didn't know any different. And so it really cemented to me that this is what I need to go into. I need to go into this field, and I need to help people who are like me, who don't know that it can be better, and there's things that we can do to help each other. And so I ended up getting my Bachelor of Science in Communication Disorders in 2008, and then I got my Doctor of Audiology degree in 2012, and I was the youngest person to graduate from Auburn's Doctor of Audiology program.
Wow!
And,
congratulations!
And I never looked back. I loved it. About 2.5 years ago, I ended up opening my own clinic. My practice is about 4 miles from our house, and our youngest patient has been 2 days old, and our oldest has been 105. And so we do a little bit of everything, and I love it. And anytime a new hearing aid comes out, I program it for myself and take it for a test drive so I can get to know kind of all the ins and outs of it. And
Amazing. That's great.
school was great, but there's and I don't think that you I don't think that you have to have hearing loss to be a good audiologist, but I know that mine has made me a better one. I love just breaking their expectations for what someone with hearing loss looks like and what they're able to accomplish and do. And so, when I found out that I had been named a HearStrong Champion, it just meant so much to me. And I was so excited about it because I was like, yes, this is what I work towards every single day, Yeah,
you embody what a HearStrong Champion is. And the fact that you go that extra mile, especially for your patients, that you actually thought ahead to test drive the hearing aids for your patients. Like, you're doing a huge effort for them, because who else does that? So what you do, I mean, you truly are a HearStrong Champion. I'm so thankful that your husband nominated you.
I have to read a statement to you, Laura, before you officially get the medal and become an official HearStrong Champion. So, Laura, as a HearStrong Champion, you will continue to be an important role model and hearing health advocate in your community. You must promise to use your voice to make a difference and create change for others with hearing loss. Are you up for this challenge?
Yes, absolutely.
William, will you put the medal around Laura? Welcome to the HearStrong Champion Circle. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One of our programs is the Pay It Forward program. So this gives you the ability to identify someone in your community or that you know who is in need of hearing health care, being a hearing aid, and we will walk them through the whole process. We will find a provider for them who will evaluate them, and we will get hearing devices for them, state-of-the-art hearing devices for free, and they will get fit with these devices and any follow-up appointments. So we will handle it all for that individual. Anyone that comes to mind that you know who could really benefit and maybe doesn't have access to it, you get to pay it forward now. So now they'll have the gift of hearing.
Yeah, so if you have a patient and you want to help us out with that process, that'd be fantastic.
Be wonderful.
If you know somebody that lives somewhere else in the country, we can help facilitate that process there as well. But this is where you have already taken that step, but you can identify somebody that hasn't been able to for whatever reason, and we'll help pay it forward and get that person connected back to the world with better hearing.